Hey everyone, this podcast is part of Story Mode, the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. You can support us and gain access to other great exclusive podcasts at patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds. Hey everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is David Bell.
I'm Tom Reimann.
And I'm Marina Reimann.
And we just watched Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald.
Grindelwald. Strong Bad. The Crimes of Strong Bad.
The wizarding and non-wizarding worlds have been at peace for over a century. Grindelwald wants to see that peace destroyed.
You want me to hunt him down? To kill him? Dumbledore, why can't you go?
I cannot move against Grindelwald. It has to be you.
So you, Marina and Tom, you two you never saw the first one.
No, I didn't. We missed the first one.
I saw the first one once, whenever it came out.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it, I think, on streaming. I didn't see it in theaters. And watching this, I was certain that I had forgotten something from the first one.
Yeah.
So that was the first impression in the first, 10, 15 minutes. I was like, man, apparently the first one's way more convoluted than I thought. I just went and Wikipedia'd it, and it's not. And I said to myself when I was starting, I got to go back and Wikipedia the first one. Then when we got about halfway through, I was like, okay, I got to go back and Wikipedia the movie I'm watching.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not sure what happened or why anybody did anything.
And you saw the first one.
Yes. But, I'm not talking about, there's no backstory. It's just, I don't know what Newt wanted. The main character?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So straight out of the gate, we should say our opinions on this film.
Okay, yeah.
Hot garbage. Hot flaming garbage.
Marina hated this.
Now, what are your qualifications?
I am a huge nerd. I'm currently holding in my hands Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by Newt Scamander, property of Harry Potter. I've had this and Quidditch Through the Ages, Hollywood. Please don't make that into a bunch of movies. Since I was in middle school.
Could you describe how many pages the book you're reading is?
It has, I think, 42.
Yeah,
42
okay.
pages. And includes things about the Kappa. Apparently,
And the Kelpie.
Yeah, it's an animal guide.
Yeah.
It also looks like a big red flag.
Yes.
And that's what it kind of is to me when this first started.
My point was Marina's you're a big Harry Potter fan.
I am, yes.
Okay, so you have knowledge of the Harry Potter story and universe.
I do.
Which should have assisted you through this.
And it didn't.
Okay.
At
And
all.
then me, I have seen the Harry Potter movies once each and
Okay.
didn't see the first movie. So I was very confused for this entire film.
I've never read the books. I really like the stupid Harry Potter movies. I really enjoy them. They're very cozy to me. They're kind of the...
Sure.
So I've watched them a few times. I saw the first one, like I said, which was unremarkable.
The first Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
This from basic filmmaking, I guess I didn't hate this movie like Marina. I'm more fascinated by it because I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Newt himself is very confusing.
Yes.
In the beginning, his brother, who works for the Ministry of Magic, and who I'm pretty sure is the lead singer from Green Room, they're trying to get him to join the Ministry of Magic to be an auror.
Which I think is it's like a agent.
They're wizard cops. Yeah.
Yeah, they're wizard cops with a license to kill.
Right.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, and they're very old timey FBI, 50s FBI.
Yeah, they're very good. Yeah,
They're bad.
They're very.
Yeah.
Well,
J.
they
Edgar
can be
Hoover
good.
FBI.
Yeah.
Harry grows up to be one.
Right. in that god awful play.
Right.
Oh, I didn't read it.
I
just
remember
know that happened.
There's that great meme about Harry Potter, which is like he's the popular jock who grew up to be a cop.
Yep.
It's just like like
he's special boy and he grew up to be a cop.
yeah, like
Anyway, my point was
Well, they hated him before
Right,
doing that. It was
yeah.
special, then hate. I mean, this movie, what irritated me maybe the most is that all it is, once again, is a showcase of how fucking incompetent the Ministry of Magic is.
Right.
And it's international now. We see this. No one
Right.
can...
completing my thought.
Sorry.
It's okay. They're trying to get him to join the Ministry of Magic. He says no because he says I don't take sides. And then 2 scenes later,
He takes a side.
No, he's contacted by. They make a big deal of that at the end of the movie where he's like, I've chosen my side.
Yeah.
2 scenes later, he's contacted by young Dumbledore who fucks, Jude Law.
yeah.
Clearly fucks. And he recruits Newt to go to Paris to find Ezra Miller, whose character's name I've forgotten, Credence. To find Credence because he's being targeted by Grindelwald or whatever. And he says, the reason I chose you is because you're good. You know what the right thing is, and you do it. I'm like, he just told us that he doesn't take sides and avoids conflict.
Yep.
It's Forrest Gump. He's a feather in the wind in this.
And
Like,
I think Dumbledore, that was Dumbledore selling us Newt, I think.
yeah. It was
Yes.
similar in the first movie where by the end of the movie I was like, I can't get a read on this character because he's just sort of bumbling and mumbles his lines a lot and like
Yeah.
doesn't look people in the eye. And like
I did like the detail of his performance because he sticks to it.
yeah, he does stick
The
to it.
entire movie, he barely looks people in the eye. Like he can't do it.
Yeah, I think they talked about that he's probably on the spectrum. Like,
Yeah, maybe
That
He just
idea-
He's
he just likes-
awkward and he likes his animals.
yeah, exactly.
I
But
get it.
like, it strayed so far from that immediately.
Yeah.
Like the first movie was that too, where it's like, look at this man going on adventures, animals, and then there was like dark magic, and he had to, and it just like spun out of control immediately.
I feel like there were like maybe 4 or 5 different movies in this movie.
Yeah.
And they never committed to a single one.
yeah, there.
Just
There's two cases of infant murder,
Yes, a fucking infant dies in like the first 30 minutes.
and then another
J.K.
one dies.
Rowling,
at
what
the
do you
end.
have against
Yeah.
babies?
I
That's
don't
when
know. Yeah,
I
like the
almost-
mother's love didn't save that fucking kid.
I
he
almost-
just got incinerated.
Yeah, I
She
almost
didn't love him enough.
No.
burst into laughter the second baby death.
Yeah, the second baby.
It was
the
so
second baby that dies in this Harry Potter film.
it was so convoluted too because it was like it was one of those things where I was like, I don't fucking understand what I'm. It's like, okay, her
It's Lita
this guy is her
Lestrange.
brother, but not actually her brother because they were on a boat once,
And they
and
switched.
she switched the baby because she was sick of it crying,
Where did she
and
get
then
the
the
other baby?
boat sunk.
Yeah.
And it was like,
It's-
what is going
It's the most
on?
psychotic explanation.
And what
'Cause
a life!
That's from the scene where they're all standing in a room just yelling exposition at
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
the one character.
Which-
oh God.
I know we're skipping. This is near the end, but then that got so
That's what
insane
I
because
missed this movie is you jump back and
Yeah.
forth to describe it.
they're in this tomb, and I don't know why they went there.
Nope.
They all individually decided to go there.
It has something to do with Lita Lestrange's family records.
Right.
They go to the Ministry of Magic looking for them.
The family tree was in that little casket she
Right.
summoned.
But
what did that
Grindelwald's
have to-
people stole that and put it in there. We see that in an earlier
right.
scene.
Right.
But it's not clear
Oh,
why.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's trying to do some kind of puppet master thing with
don't
Credence, and man, I just wish they'd left Credence out of the goddamn movie. It was, I mean, I
Credence
felt
was-
like the whole movie was about this guy that we barely ever saw.
It's because they set him up in the first movie, and I think the problem is they might have written the first movie having no idea what the second was going to be.
I believe
Because he
that.
was very important by the end of the first movie.
It was so painful when they revealed Dumbledore in this movie because you could tell that was where they wanted you to cheer, and no one
Yeah,
did.
no one cheered.
It was
The
dead
audience
silence.
seemed pretty confused. I mean, there were a few.
confusing film.
Yeah, but
Yes.
okay, just going back. They're in this tomb. They're yelling exposition to each other, and then one of the characters just like looks over and is like, "I wonder what's down that hallway," and goes down the hallway, and there's just like a villain meeting,
Yeah.
a giant villain meeting, and it was just like, "What are we doing?" It's like a dream.
Oh,
The movie's like a
oh.
dream where people will randomly like go
Riley.
into new areas.
Newt said to, I think Newt's, I think.
Okay.
I think I know what that was.
We're
That
gonna
was the
figure this
rally.
out.
That was
It
Grindelwald's
was
Right.
his rally.
Did they know that rally was
They
happening?
did, and he told him not to go. I think Newt or
Okay.
somebody told Newt's brother Theseus not to go.
Dumbledore tells Theseus not to go. He says if
Okay.
they send you to break up a
Don't
rally,
go.
don't go.
Yeah.
But did they know the rally was specifically going to be at that tomb that they were going for a totally different reason?
Lita
to?
did.
Okay.
Because she goes to get her records, and there's a note in there that says your records have been moved to this tomb.
Yeah, and she read it out loud.
Actually,
luckily for
she
Newt
didn't.
and,
I don't know if she did. Too.
Right.
I don't know if they did know the rally was going to
Right.
be there.
Well, we can assume, I guess.
Well,
with this
she
movie
knew
that
the records.
horrors-
She went there to find the records.
Yeah, she
Right.
didn't go
What
for
I'm
the
saying is
rally.
that just by chance that rally is happening
think-
in the
well,
same
because-
location.
I think Grindelwald wanted her there.
Oh, right.
Exactly.
They moved it
'Cause
there
they
to
moved the
draw
records
them
there so
in.
that she
Yeah.
would go there, and so that
And they
Newt
wanted-
and
Right.
everyone else would
He
go
wanted
there.
most of all. What he wanted to do, I think, is get
Get
what's his
Credence
name?
there.
Credence. Yeah, get him there. Not just get him there though, but prove to him that he had a valid
Right.
viewpoint because the
don't-
Aurors were killing random people.
Do they
Exactly, yeah.
establish that stuff, or are we just
Not-
trying to figure
there's
it
no-
out?
Not firmly.
There's
'Cause
very little establishment of any kind.
Very little character introduction. Like
Yeah.
when we're first at Newt's place, like
I was so confused.
Yeah, I knew he had a suitcase that had his menagerie in it, but they don't establish it in this
No.
one. And it's just like
They
he's in
don't-
this apartment and he
his
hears like
apartment that-
noises and he goes downstairs and he's in it, and it's like they could have easily just showed him like getting his suitcase.
So his apartment's not in the first film.
I don't remember.
The way that they just kind of he
just
has
has
an
that
apartment
suitcase.
that's
he's in
like
America in the first film with the
Okay.
suitcase, and like they didn't do any establishing shots. Like when they didn't really show.
I was very confused.
Yeah.
It was like suddenly you're in this amazing watery paradise.
Right.
He's got like a whole zoo animal preserve in his apartment, which is fine.
That's
I get
established
that.
in the
That's
first
cool.
one.
That is in his.
Okay.
Well, no, not in his apartment. That's
Oh.
supposed
In
to
the
be in his
suitcase.
suitcase.
Okay.
When did he go in the suitcase?
They don't.
It's so
That's what I mean. They don't show
There's,
it.
at one time
They
in the
show
movie
him
he goes.
casually walking out of
yeah,
his suitcase,
out of his suitcase,
later,
but never
once.
in it. It's like
Well,
what
no,
the
they
hell,
show him in when
guys?
he like is messing around with the Chinese dragon.
later. Yeah.
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 But that's after the apartment scene.
Yes,
We're
yeah.
already so confused by that.
Well, I mean, I was just trying to see if because we didn't see the first movie, so I'm
No.
giving it the benefit. I was just trying
Yeah.
to see to ask Dave if the apartment's in the first movie because it is jarring.
It was
'Cause I
jarring
wasn't
knowing about
sure-
the suitcase because I was like, they show him like in his apartment
Mm-hmm.
and it's a regular apartment, and then they show him like cut to him like feeding that seaweed monster,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, it was this weird moment of like, wait. Did he get in his suitcase? Where is this?
Well, I
is his apartment also a menagerie? Like it took me a second to be like, oh, he must have gotten in. Like it felt like we missed a scene.
I don't know. Where my confusion lay was just we're suddenly in this place that has like 5 different ecosystems in it.
Yeah.
And I know like there's
That was more or less, yeah.
I know you can do
established.
like 2 different kinds. Like they can make small places big, and they
Right.
can also make things be portholes or port keys to other places.
Right.
So I wasn't sure like which magic was at work.
Well, that's
But then he goes into the Kelpie's pen and like gets it to come up, and it looks like the beautiful hills of
right.
Scotland.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on? That confused the shit out of me.
But they cut out, and in the scene when he gets the Kelpie up on there, and Bunty, his assistant, who is in love with him,
Yeah, clearly. Yeah.
Well, I
is
don't
helping-
remember from the first movie, to be honest. I don't know if she was in the first movie.
Fair enough. I
I'm
was
so sorry for her. She clearly loves him.
I wasn't confused about her character.
I wasn't confused either. I was just like,
I'm
where did she
confused
come
now.
from?
Does she live in his suitcase?
No. This is not
Okay.
inside his suitcase. It's in his apartment.
No, that's in his suitcase.
Thank you.
Is it?
That's what I'm saying. This is why this is confusing, is because that's what the inside of his suitcase looks like in the first
Oh,
one.
okay.
It's like this big, beautiful menagerie that's like a holodecky, where it's like he can go to different areas and it's like expansive worlds. But in this movie, they never show him they just show him in his apartment,
And then
he's like,
suddenly
I gotta
he's in
go
the
do this.
stupid suitcase.
Yeah, they never.
But they go in and out of the door. Like Jacob comes in through that door.
It's so confusing.
Like this is what. Yeah.
Does he have 2 menageries?
I don't
Is
know.
his
That's-
apartment also?
That's what I thought.
because it doesn't make because he leaves a note for
Bunty.
Bunty in the menagerie. He wouldn't leave her that note in his suitcase and then take her in the suitcase
Right.
with him.
This is
but he might. Maybe she lives there.
Why would he leave her a note?
She might
She would
live
just
there.
have to pop out and be like, "Where are we?"
this is the problem.
Anyway, my point was, it pans out when he gets the Kelpie up on there and Bunty's helping him feed it. You see that the hills are painted on brick in the background. So it's not even really in
Right.
in the Scottish Highlands.
But
it's
it
just
was
it sure as shit looked like it, and then it shows it's just painted on there.
This is
oh man.
the magic in this does have no rules to it. I don't know what was happening
well,
with the
anytime I was
magic.
confused, I was always like, well, it's magic, but this was the only scene specifically where the magic confused me. I was
Right.
like, okay, like what kind of magic is
Well,
this?
there's a lot of it's like a fucking dream where like it.
It is. You can't quite grasp it.
Yeah,
just
but
like in a dream.
and you'd think like, okay, sure, there's magic, so that would explain it. But it was little things like that fair scene, right? And the big kitty cat
I have
gets
a
out.
huge question about that fair scene.
Okay,
Yeah, what
they're
the
in.
hell?
They go in. They establish this fair, and it's like you don't know what's going on or why they're there.
It's in the Parisian version of Diagon Alley. That
Yes.
you go through this statue.
And there's tons of people there, and there's so many people, and they're having a blast. And then Snake Lady bites a guy for
Nagini.
some reason.
That's Voldemort's
Yeah,
snake, you
yeah.
guys. If you don't know who that is, Nagini is Voldemort's snake.
Yeah, right.
How?
How?
How is that?
Well, they
how
say
is that
they
Lady Voldemort's snake.
Well, they say that
she's going to transform into
Yeah.
a snake
You
in
gotta
one
listen
day.
to the Barker.
No, I heard that. He said she's going to turn into a snake and never turn back, but she's like good
I know.
in this movie.
Right.
I am assuming that is a horrible herald of more movies to come.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this movie ends.
So
Yeah.
she bites the Barker, and he lets the kitty go.
Credence does.
Credence
That's the
does.
Chinese dragon.
So first of all, they
I
know.
keep wanting to say Clearwater.
Yeah, I
every
know.
time someone says
I was going to call him CCR. Yeah.
out in the street.
So they know
John Fogerty singing behind him everywhere he goes.
the movie before did not establish that snake
Okay.
lady.
She's not in it?
I don't believe so. And it sort of just ends. What I remember, it sort of ends with him like either fucking off or getting captured. Credence is like a side character, I believe, that is just like revealed. Oh, he has these powers. So that whole situation was new.
Wow.
It was
Okay.
just like they just launched us into it, and they're just having conversations, and I was just like, "What? All right, who is this? What is going on?" I had to remember he was from the first one. It was the equivalent of like that X-Men Apocalypse where they cut to Magneto having a full family, and they're just like, he has a family now. It was sort of that, where it's just like he's in a circus now with this lady, and it was
Okay,
like,
this the way
all
they
right.
dropped us in there. I assumed this was a continuation of something from the first film,
No.
and that she had been I assumed their relationship had been established in the first film.
Not to my knowledge. People can correct me on that, but I'm pretty fucking sure that's new.
Interesting.
But the point I was going to get to is that all happens. He lets it out, and then the circus people are like, "Oh, pack it up," and they pack it all up, and then it's just deserted. And it was like, where did all
Where'd
the
all
people?
the people go?
Yeah.
Or they just an illusion to maybe like Twitter bots.
Right.
It makes you look like you're popular.
And it was just like, what the fuck is going on?
No magic police showed up. You just let a wild magical
Yeah.
animal loose.
And then they're just talking in the streets, and it was
Yeah.
again, it feels like a dream where you go in one room and you're like, oh, I'm in my dentist office now, and I'm going to
Yeah.
be doing this, and now this person's here, and nothing's explained.
That's exactly how it felt. Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
My question about the carnival scene is everybody in this world, because they go through the statue into the wizard world. They're all magic, and they're all aware that magic exists. Why would they? I don't understand. Why would they come and see people do magic and be like, oh,
Yeah.
like you're just doing shit I can do?
My favorite in that shot was there's a juggler in the background. I'm like, who is watching that juggler?
Gives a
He's sitting
shit
there like,
about
whoa, check me out.
But yeah, why would you come to see a magic show in the wizarding world?
Yeah, that's got to be like the equivalent of just turning on the TV.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
It's-
I mean,
it's-
at least like the TV, they're telling a story.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and it's not like
I'm
not
telling a story about oppressed magical animals, I guess.
because
I
you
don't
just
know.
like everybody there is a wizard or witch.
Yeah.
it's not like
Although one muggle came through.
That's true.
you're right, but he came with a wizard.
Right. Also, did they ever establish that muggles don't see magic? Because, like, in the second Harry Potter, he has to make his flying car invisible. It seemed like they do, like...
Muggles can see magic.
Right, they do the going through, what is it, 9.5? Is that the station?
9 3/4.
9 3/4, and they make some sort of joke of like, oh, muggles don't notice shit. But this was like a moving statue.
Oh yeah,
that was letting
really
people in.
odd. I don't understand why the statue kept moving on the Muggle side of the world.
It would move when they came up to open the door. and
Right.
it would
Still,
move back.
though, I mean,
Also,
yeah.
the part where Johnny Depp covers everything in a veil.
Yeah, what the fuck?
What was that? Because again, in the first movie, what happens at the very end? It's sort of like Men in Black. It's sort of like Men in Black 2. What happens is this big magic battle event happens in the first one, and they're like, "Shit, everybody saw this," and they get rid of everybody.
everyone?
Yeah. With this
God,
like
I'm such a
big
nerd.
spell in the sky.
No, you're fine.
And then in this one, they're just like that. Those magic veils happen. They're like, look at that, and like they don't care.
Yeah.
Well, and then
what
it's
was that?
the flying carriage where they're in the beginning where they're taking.
Right.
Couldn't watch that scene, by the way.
Yes.
If
All
you're
the
an
lightning.
epileptic, cover your freaking eyes. when you're
Honestly-
watching that scene. Too much lightning.
I couldn't watch that either. The
Yeah.
action was hard to follow because they just kept flashing me.
And it was
bright
also
light.
dark.
I'm guessing
Yeah.
there wasn't much action to see.
No.
That's the only
There was
reason.
like a lot of
There
shit was happening. It's
All
just
right.
the modern style of
Damn.
having it be so close and then all
Stroby.
the light strobes and everything
I,
just makes it hard to
I
follow.
feel like we should have went through this step by step because I have a question about that scene.
Well, here's my question: it's a giant flying carriage pulled by magical animals,
Right.
Just right by the Statue of Liberty
Yeah.
to take Grindelwald all the way to England.
No one is.
This is a long trip.
Yeah.
um
Again,
they're not moving-
incompetent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not moving that fast.
No.
Don't you have planes?
And they have no escort.
in the
they have
magical
no
world.
security
Yeah,
escort.
There's like three
Right.
guys.
Christ,
There's like
guys.
3 guys to take the most famous magical criminal.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Right.
we would for little tiny itty bitty Charlie Manson, we would have all kinds of cops everywhere for different reasons, but
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
still we have the resources. Surely they do.
Another question about that scene. What happened? Because all right,
Yeah, I want to know. I didn't see that.
okay. It starts with Johnny Depp, and he's
He's
chained
in
up,
prison in the American Ministry of
and
Magic.
then they take him and they put him on this
Buoyed him
carriage
up
to
make
move
us-
him.
They buoyed him up to make us hate him less. I think.
Right.
I think that's why they did that.
Maybe he's supposed and he's in a castle in Austria in the end, and he's talking about purebloods. They made him like completely white,
Very
blonde.
Aryan,
Yeah.
very Aryan.
He is.
Varian.
Varian.
Boom.
I want to talk about the last shot too, but
Sure.
all right. So they move him into the carriage, and then they're moving him, and his face contorts, and he turns into another guy. Meanwhile, there's a second guy who like sees the carriage off, and then he jumps to the carriage, and he's under it, like,
Ugh.
and that guy's face switch,
weird.
and turns out to be Johnny Depp.
Yes, they switched.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
That guy.
Now
was,
here's the question.
Was like the prison guard or warden or something at the American
Right.
Ministry of Magic.
So Johnny Depp, before they started moving him, switched with somebody else.
Oh yeah, yes, way
Yes,
before.
way before, and then they leave with the guy who's not him.
Then why did he need to go and switch? What
There
the
we
fuck?
go.
Why is he
there
there?
we go. Why is he on the
Why?
carriage then?
Yeah, if they already
because
switched.
they fucked off with not Johnny Depp, and he's sitting there at the old prison. Shouldn't he just leave? Because
Yeah.
You'd think.
he'd escaped.
Or what about that item, that blood thing?
Maybe
Is
he
that what
needed
happened?
that?
Well,
Yes, he did need that.
Okay, but why didn't he just get that earlier?
I guess he couldn't, even in his position as pretending to be yet again pretending to be another guy at the Ministry of Magic. He couldn't just take it from.
Oh,
that
they
guy.
do establish that he has a force field around
It's a
him.
very good.
But he,
strategy,
at some
apparently.
point, he switched bodies with that guy.
Yeah.
Not that guy.
Different guy.
This the younger guy is the guy he switches with. The older guy is the guy that is holding the blood vial, who has that powerful force field around him that he can't get through. So he fills the carriage up with water
Okay.
and then lets them out and takes that thing from him and lets the guy drop.
Okay.
And he makes it. I did see that he stopped the guy before he hit the water, so he
No,
wouldn't
the guy
die. Or-
he dropped the guy's wand with him.
Yeah.
So he let the. I don't know why he would do that.
Yeah, I'm confused.
But the guy caught his wand and stopped, and
He
then we
throws
I
his
don't
little
think we see
lizard
that guy
out.
again.
Yeah, why
No,
would you?
we don't.
If you're a bad guy, first of all, why do you care?
Just
Right.
keep his
Second of
wand. Be
all,
like,
keep his wand.
"Deuces."
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Was that guy at the end? Because there was a part where they show up at Hogwarts at the end, and it's like the group of our heroes, and there was like one old guy standing with
Oh,
them,
yeah.
and I was like, "Who's that guy?"
Wasn't that Nicholas Flamel?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Did he have shoulder length hair?
No, I don't think so. Wait, who was that? Was that the alchemist you're talking
Yeah,
about?
Yeah.
No, we don't meet him until Dan Fogler randomly Jacob wakes up.
No, I was talking about the ending scene.
Yeah, the ending.
Oh, the ending scene.
That's what I mean when when he goes to have tea with Dumbledore, and all his buddies are standing there.
Did anyone else
also,
think
why'd they
Dumbledore
have to?
was so rude to make everyone just wait there?
Well, I feel like they walked off, and the group was standing there, and they're like, "Why the fuck did we come?"
Yeah.
Like,
Should we go?
yeah, should we just?
fall-
Can
are
we come with you and be part of this conversation?
Can we also have tea?
Yeah, we'd like some tea. Or it's kind of cold and damp.
Yeah.
We're in England.
I want to talk about the ending shot real quick. The guy
Sure.
finds out he's a Dumbledore,
Ezra Miller, Credence
spoilers.
discovers
Yeah.
he's Dumbledore's brother Aurelius.
Yeah. And this is a weird gripe, but it represented the whole movie to me. Is that he then like had this blank face and he fired a fucking magic out the window and it smashes the window.
Right, because Grindelwald had just given him his wand.
Right. Okay. And then it hits rocks and the rocks explode and they start to fall and then it like cuts away to his face and he's like got a blank expression. Then it goes to credits, and that was just like really bad pacing. Like I don't know what it was about that. That just like felt really awkward.
I think what they were trying to do is like, remember, he convinces Queenie to come to his side. Grindelwald does,
Yeah.
because he's like, hey, in my world, you'd be able to marry whoever you want to.
But she's also
confused, though. That's not
brainwashed,
true.
right?
Yeah, she acts
no,
like
it's
it.
not true.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They establish she can read minds. How is it that she doesn't know that
Maybe
he
she
would
can't-
kill her
all right,
fiance?
Maybe she can't read his.
Well, here's
But wouldn't that be like some kind of a red flag?
I assumed she had been brainwashed because they show the scene where she goes to the house where they killed the kid, and I don't remember or I don't know why she's at that house, but she's there.
She goes to the ministry to try to find. They lure her here. She goes to the ministry
Holy
because she
shit.
thinks her sister is there. Her sister
Okay.
Tina from the first one, and she gets there and she's like, "I'm here to see Tina," and they're like, "She's not here." So she goes outside and hears Jacob and Newt go by. She goes out and tries to find them and lose
Right.
them. So she sits down to try to mind read and find them, and that's when Grindelwald's French lady Stickman
She just
shows
walks up and she's like, "Hey,
Yeah.
what's up?"
Hey, you want to
Yeah.
come? And then it just cuts to her later in this. I'm not sure why they needed to be in that house
No,
because
no,
they
but-
killed the entire family that's in that house to occupy it.
I think the idea was that they just needed a place, and so
oh
they
yeah,
were
that's
just
true. So
like,
they just killed somebody.
yeah.
Okay, that
The
makes
idea is they don't care about the Muggles, in
Right,
there.
yeah.
But then, all right,
She
but
would
then
be able to read the mind of his followers, right?
You'd think.
I mean,
Right.
Jesus.
Unless he's, because they say he's the strongest ever. So
Yeah.
unless he's like
But
doing
they-
some kind of magic, but they don't
and
say
this
any
is
of that.
this is the problem is that then she like meets up with him in the house and she pulls out her wand. And then he like lets her go, or like I forget that
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
scene just sort of stops.
It's
Well,
so
he-
confusing because
Yeah.
she's such a ditz. I can't tell if she's under a spell or if she's an idiot.
she was
it's really hard to tell.
She was a better character in the first one,
She's
but
just they.
and so like
What he says to her, you don't need to fight me. I'm gonna let you go. It's part of what he does at
Right.
the end too, where he's trying to. It's very much what like a lot of these. Like I made the joke to you while we were watching
Yeah.
it, where Queenie's like talking to Jacob. She's like, "No, we should stay in here and talk." It's like,
He's like, yeah, that's
I've
what
got
they-
some YouTube videos you should watch to really and just
Yeah.
watch them.
Yeah.
Just what here. It's very much like the kind of like fake victimizing and fake rhetoric
Right.
that like the alt right.
oh yeah, but they never establish her slow turn.
Nope.
No, it's just kind of
She's
like
just suddenly.
yeah.
That's why I
he just says to
assumed.
her, he's like, "Look, you can." Look, I just want for us all to be free. I don't. You want to get married to a Muggle? I don't have a problem with that, and that's what I want. It's their rules. I have a problem with it. Anyway, I'm not going to do anything.
But then
so
he
you
like
can- you can leave
declares
if you want
wars
to.
on Muggles in
Yeah, I
his
was
speech.
just gonna say that. Isn't he
Yeah.
up all about pureblood stuff?
He is, but that's not what he's
He's like-
telling people.
But he's open. He was just like, look at all this war and shit. Where like,
Oh, yeah.
they're gonna come for us. It was weird because even her little Muggle lover is
Jacob.
just like Jacob. Didn't he say something like you're bewitched or you're like
He said
you're
you're
crazy.
crazy.
you're crazy. It felt like because they
Twice.
established at the beginning, the first thing she
Doesn't
does
say it
is
the
she
first
puts
time.
him under
Thinks
this
it.
love spell.
Yeah, she thinks
Yeah.
it. He's in an abusive relationship
Yes.
with
I
a
think
witch.
maybe Queenie's actually now that you mentioned the first part, she was already on the path to the dark side.
Yeah.
She was keeping a guy basically date rape forever. you know?
Right.
Yeah,
well,
she
I think
bewitched him
that
to
was
force him
supposed
to
to be a
marry her.
little
Horrifying.
cuter if you had watched the first movie, because the first movie, the idea is she's like really into him, he's really into her, and they're like, it was weird. It was very weird. Still, even watching the first one, that scene. But
It's
they all right,
wrong.
they
Yeah, it's
established
wrong.
she
Horribly wrong.
bewitches him into marrying him.
That's awful.
And then so I figured at the end thought I had like missed a scene where she had been bewitched, like they were establishing this mind control, because it was so weird that she wanted to go with Johnny Depp.
Yeah, it really was. She
And-
was willing to mind control her fiance to make him stay with her before, and now she leaves.
Yeah,
Like,
and
what
then
happened?
gets mad at him for something he doesn't even say.
It was
Like he
fucking
stops himself from saying you're crazy, and then she
Yeah.
said, "But you said it in your head." That's like not
I
fair.
can't control that. Dude.
No.
Yeah, it's like you can't.
So it's like she's already kind of doing what would
It's
be
also just
considered evil
bonkers.
magic. In
Yeah.
D&D.
she's on her way.
Like-
Yeah, she's on her way to an alignment shift.
Yeah, an alignment shift.
It's so fucking bonkers.
It is. It's yeah. We don't get enough of
So
her turn.
bad.
They plant some seeds.
I think it was reminding me of the I already talked about X-Men once. Fucking Firebolt, Fireman, Pyro. They like slowly establish his turn in X2 or X3.
X2.
Not good, not great, but like they do it where it's like at the beginning he's doing stuff at the museum, and then like they don't do that with her. She's just like, I'm here now with this person. I've been convinced by this holograph that he vaped of a nuke. His vape holograph out of a skull. It was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was crazy. A hookah skull.
I disagree because that's what the very beginning is establishing, because she has put Jacob under a spell to agree to marry her, and then when she breaks it and she's reading his mind even though he doesn't want her to, and is like so like mad because she's like, I just want what everybody else has. So they do kind of establish in the beginning. It's just
that motivation, but they don't establish why Johnny Depp would ever give her that, and why she would think he would. That's why I just assumed she was being brainwashed, because it was so obviously not the answer to marrying this guy.
Also, he's a famous murderer, isn't he?
Yes. And she she immediately pulls out her wand before that reason, where it's like he's Voldemort, like he's that like that level.
Yeah. Here's a question I want to ask of Marina.
Yep.
Where does Voldemort figure into all this?
None. Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. And
when does he show up?
He doesn't show up for quite some time. He's actually a student of Dumbledore's, so he's Tom Marvolo Riddle, and he's just not there yet.
So he has no connection to Grindelwald?
None. And
really?
Here's an even bigger bombshell. Aurelius Dumbledore is not in the canon.
Right.
He had a brother, Aberforth, and a sister.
His brother shows up in the, or is this one of his siblings shows up in the movies?
Oh, I don't know. Well, they talked about his sister Ariana, who died when she was young. But this character Aurelius Dumbledore is completely made up. He might not even be a Dumbledore. He might just be a lie told by Grindelwald. But
the movie was written by J.K. Rowling.
Yes.
Yeah.
This feels a lot like The Hobbit. For the reason
I liked this more than The Hobbit. Like
really?
The Hobbit is...
I'll give this. Well, I'll give this one. I'll give this a few points.
Both awful.
A couple points.
Yeah, actually,
one point.
I take that back.
Well, no, this is shorter.
It's shorter than The Hobbit.
And so that
I do
maybe
thank it for being shorter.
The
but
Hobbit
it
at
felt,
least has Richard Armitage.
It felt like the same problem where Lord of the Rings was the fate of the universe, and the Harry Potters were the fate of the universe. And this one, they're just like, no, this was also bad.
Yeah.
And it's like they're trying to make me care about something that I'm and. This is my guess, is that we're gonna get, just like The Hobbit has the ring at a few points. They have like we're gonna give you a taste of Lord of the Rings. They're gonna give us a little V here and there. It's gonna show up.
They gave us a little bit of. They gave us Fox. I'm assuming that's Fox.
Fox?
The Phoenix.
Dumbledore has
a Phoenix.
And that's unless Grindelwald is lying about it.
A Phoenix song should inspire fear. According to Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Phoenixes inspire fear in the impure of heart. So I don't know how that worked out.
Maybe it's
might not be a real Phoenix then, because that should have killed Grindelwald. Right?
I'll give this movie
I wouldn't like him.
credit for its restraint, because I was so waiting when they're at Hogwarts to him be like, hey, little Hagrid, how you doing?
Oh,
hey,
God.
Little Potter, how you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, little Tom Riddle, how you doing? Like, I thought they were just gonna fucking go nuts with that shit, with the
They
references.
didn't, which is
Yeah, I guess I appreciate
part. I guess you can partly attribute that because it's written by J.K. Rowling.
I would have loved one.
They had
I don't know if
McGonagall, but that makes sense because they were working there at the same time.
But also, Aurelius, if you think about how old Dumbledore is in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
This kid, Credence, way
too
too
young.
young.
Yeah.
Way too freaking young. Dumbledore.
And also, why would
left
Dumbledore's
Hogwarts.
parents be going on a boat to England?
They wouldn't.
To America.
They
to
wouldn't.
America.
His father went to Azkaban and died in Azkaban, and Dumbledore left Hogwarts at 17, and
It's all fucked up.
Yeah,
So maybe
completely.
she's counting on you knowing that to be
Maybe.
like. So I am not. Being only a very base surface level fan of Harry Potter and not having seen the first film, at the end of this movie, I was not convinced that Credence is in fact Dumbledore's brother. I was like,
good.
he's lying.
Yeah.
Good. I'm
Like
glad.
Grindelwald is lying.
I mean,
why
I
would
just-
he tell you the
Yeah.
truth?
I just like at that point was like, sure, anything's possible now because there's just no rules going on.
No.
It's madness.
You know where Nifflers are supposed to live?
What are
tell you.
Nifflers?
What's a Nifflers?
The Niffler. Oh, that's fun. You just watched that movie and Nifflers were key to the plot and we didn't know what
Is
they
he a little
were.
platypus guy?
Yeah, little
little
guy.
platypus.
Little
Yeah.
mole
Platypus guy, okay.
They establish him in the first one.
It's a Ministry of Magic 3X's classification, which means it's kind of dangerous, but not really. A Niffler is a British beast, so if they're in America, check your book.
Well,
Fluffy.
He brought it with him.
Yeah, he
Okay.
brought it with. The first movie establishes the first scene is him basically it getting loose from his suitcase in the first one.
Fluffy, black, and long-snouted, this burrowing creature has a predilection for anything glittery. Nifflers are often kept by goblins to burrow deep into the earth for treasure. Though the Niffler is gentle and even affectionate, it can be destructive to belongings and should never be kept in a house. Nifflers live in layers up to 20 feet below the surface and produce 6 to 8 young in a litter.
I mean,
Nice.
that's clear.
No, yeah,
Like,
they
that's clear in the film.
they establish it in the first one.
You ever
That's
see them underground? Or
Well, I
finding
mean,
any gold?
watching
The
it.
first
watching
one-
it, I understood that it likes shiny
got
things.
yeah,
that
the
part,
first
yeah.
one. There's a whole thing where he has to go get it, and he goes to like jewelry shops and shit, and like finds
Here's
it.
what confused me about the Nifflers in this movie is the whole tracking thing with all the gold glittery dust thing where he was tracking
Yeah,
Tina
that was
and
madness.
What the hell
Oh,
was
I
Again,
don't get that.
this is-
I don't
is-
get that at all. Yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
about
This
that.
is this was the like why I gave up on the film is that the original Harry Potters, they did one thing in the original Harry Potters that would have been so easy for them to do in this, and maybe they tried to do it a little in the first movie. I forget. Is that Harry Potter doesn't know the magic world, so he gets introduced, and we have this person who doesn't know what's going on, so they get to explain to him and the audience, like, oh yeah, this is this thing, or they deliberately are obtuse about it for fun, but you get what the rules of the magical universe.
Yeah.
In the first Harry Potters, this one they have a Muggle who doesn't know what's going on, and they still don't explain anything to him.
Yep.
Or us, and the magic is nonsense.
It is.
It's
Oh my
like
God.
that ending part where that was the most I liked this movie is when I liked the creepiness of that scene where the Ministry was coming in and Johnny
Yeah.
Depp is like, are you gonna fucking take this, or whatever he was saying. Like that scene was very tense and creepy. I liked that until he made this ring of fire, and then they were like fighting it. And it was like, what are the rules? What's going on?
Yeah.
Is this him? Is he the fire? Is the fire going to destroy things? And then they built that like weird wall around it.
Yeah.
And it was like, they're
then it
like, we
turns
have to
into-
stop it. And then it just sort of like disappears.
No, it turns into 2 dragons.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It turns into 2 dragons and they kill those fire dragons with fire.
There's a lot of moments.
With red fire.
Yeah.
They're blue fire. dragons.
Right.
I'm assuming they're killing an unnatural manifestation with a natural
Right.
one. I mean, that's the only thing I can guess is that they're canceling it out. With
Yeah,
because
because they were like zombie dragons.
And then there were the fucking... Why did Lestrange... They sick the little Ministry cats on them, and they have to establish them in the moment they show up.
Not
They're like,
sure.
What the hell?
yeah, and he's like, "Oh, that's the Ministry have those, even though we've never seen them before." And they won't attack you unless you. And then she attacks it, and it's like she works there. Wouldn't she know all of this? And
Yeah.
wouldn't,
Also, why would
wouldn't
they be
he
like,
not?
Why would the receptionist be sicking her familiars on somebody who worked at the Ministry of Magic who is
Right.
accessing her own records?
They never explain her or
Yeah.
what she's doing.
And she walks like a model. It's
Yes,
really weird.
She walked like she was going to turn into someone else.
Yes.
That's what I thought was happening.
Yes, I
Me
thought
too.
she was secretly
She was
like
walking
Johnny
like
Depp
she
or
was on a
something.
catwalk.
Yeah.
She had the one
Yeah.
foot in front of the other.
That was
type
so
thing.
And she's
fucking
creepy
weird.
from
Yeah.
Jump Street.
She's very
I
creepy.
think they just had this set piece they thought of, and then they were like, "We need an action scene here."
I assume those cats are in the book.
Nope.
They're not?
Not that I know of. Not that I can find. I mean, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But
yeah.
in these 48 pages, I have not found those things.
And then they turned into little kitty cats at the end for no real
I
reason.
assume because they got. He said they're spirit familiars.
Yeah.
I assume it's because they got too far from
Okay.
whoever their master is.
Probably
Yeah.
the creepy librarian.
Yeah, that was fucking bizarre. Everybody in that scene acted weird
Yes.
and not normal.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was oh my
Like
god.
even Lita reading the note out loud. I was
Yeah,
like, is
that was
how
hilarious.
they're gonna get them to figure from point A to point B.
Well, it turns out to not even matter because
yeah,
she
because
goes with
she
them.
sees them.
That was-
stupid
that was-
fake Groot. They're little
Yeah, the little Groot.
little
Picker.
Groot.
That
Yeah,
was so
it's like,
fucking
no.
weird because when she said that out loud, I was like, I thought the same thing. I was like, is that how they're going to get this information, by someone reading a letter out loud? Seriously?
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
It wasn't necessary because
Nope.
she goes with them.
Yep, and she's not even angry at them for
No.
hanging on her mailbox.
Oh, I guess it's because they needed Newt to know where to have the Chinese dragon take them, because they just go immediately to the cemetery.
Oh.
Okay, sure.
And
Oh, you're right.
Lita and Tina are hiding in his case.
Okay,
Yeah,
wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh my god, this movie was so bad.
They're hiding in that case with that lady who works for him, who's just been in there the whole
She's just
time.
been
I
in the
guess,
suitcase.
unless he
Poor
has another
Bunty.
menagerie in the.
And you
in
know
his
she's going to
apartment.
stay
I am-
forever because she loves him, so
Yeah.
she'll never leave that suitcase.
I'm super curious because I don't feel like this is a movie where fans will have like a cult. Like, if it feels like even fans will find this confusing.
They do. I just pulled up an article here on therollinglibrary.com. Who is Aurelius
Never heard of that.
Dumbledore?
Heard of that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I get the fans being mad at like things that weren't canon.
Yeah, they're saying this goes against all our canon knowledge.
Right. I get that. What I mean is fans are going to have the same situation as us, where it's just like, what happened? Like, scene to scene. I've had a lot of trouble. I was paying as much attention as I could. And maybe it's just because I was so disinterested at the same time, but it was a lot of like, why is this character doing this? Why are they going this? Where did those people
Yeah,
go?
The motivation
What-
was very confusing.
Yeah, like that, and that fucking
Also-
veil, and it was just like,
And
why
Grim-
isn't anybody reacting to what they're seeing?
And Grimson,
Oh,
what the fuck?
shit.
When he was like, like there was like some order that he was supposed to kill a woman. Like he said, I killed the.
Grimson
Yeah,
killed.
on the bridge. He said he killed the
Grimson,
woman.
he killed the little person that was
Oh, the
Credence's
Yeah, the mom.
nanny,
Okay.
and he made it look like he was trying to hit
Kill
Credence and
Right.
miss, but he was
Right.
supposed to kill her because Grindelwald's trying to sever any attachment that Credence.
Got
Right.
it.
Oh my
that
God.
His is the only voice in his ear.
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot that there were two moms.
That's like the only thing.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god. Okay, so wait, I want to go through his backstory real quick,
No.
because the mom. All right, there's the nanny,
Yeah, the nanny who's the
and
little
then
French
there's the guy, the bad father.
something Lestrange.
He married a lady. He with spells. He stole a lady with his love spells, who was the mother of Lestrange.
Yes.
Our
Mother of Lita Lestrange.
Leah Lestrange.
I don't know where
they
Bellatrix
made
fits
they
into this.
they made a baby. This is why the movie's so fucking insane with the backstory, because that's what. Oh, okay.
They made a baby.
They made a
Lita-
baby, and then she died childbirth, even though there's like no blood or any sign of her.
None.
Yeah.
And you're fucking wizard.
Yeah.
And it's a completely white nightgown and a completely white
Right.
bed, and there's
Yeah.
no blood anywhere. And you're wizards. as
Yeah,
Tom
and you're
pointed
wizards.
out.
It feels like you'd know.
Can't
All
we
right, so
figure this out yet?
this was like
Maybe it's a lie. Maybe
this
he killed her.
I don't know. This was like the prequels where it's
Yeah.
like her heart wasn't in it, and it's like we're in the future right now.
Yeah.
Well, technically a long time ago, but you got it.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's
Okay.
not a good sign when you have an article titled "Untangling the Lestrange Family Tree." Not a good sign when you're writing and you're trying to create
Okay.
families.
So he then remarries and has another baby.
There's another baby,
Yeah.
Corvus.
And then the little girl who's being raised by him. So it's already two moms, two different babies, and then she switches the baby on a boat with another baby.
Because it's crying.
Yes, because
What-
it's crying.
And they're like, and after she reveals that, like Newt's like, it wasn't your fault.
yeah.
Yes,
fuck
it
it
was.
wasn't.
You stole someone else's baby.
She wasn't like a toddler. She's like 9 or 10
Yeah.
years old when she
Yeah.
does
She
this.
She
switched
was
babies,
older than that, I
and
think.
then
Maybe.
that
She was,
baby died.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that baby fucking
And it's a new
drowns
baby,
in
so
the
he's not-
Atlantic.
He's
Yeah.
the baby that is apparently Credence, which I'm not sure. Oh God! And there was that other guy, the guy with the eye monster. Who was that guy?
He was the son. His name was, what was his? Yosef Kwame.
He just
He
showed
was the
like
son.
Oh yeah, he was Lita's half brother.
okay.
Yeah.
They don't establish him. He's just like there all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
he shows up.
He's the guy who was married to the woman who got stolen away by Lestrange.
No, he was her son.
Holy shit!
That was his mom.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
They share the
That's what-
same mommy.
Sorry.
Yeah,
they
they
share
share
the
the
same mother.
Right.
Their mom was a lady that
I
he
remember.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah,
Okay.
he tells the story of like,
Yeah.
oh, he took her away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus
He's
fucking
telling his own
Christ.
father.
Yeah.
His father told him about what happened to his mother, and then
Right.
he gets his sister, or half sister rather, and then you've got this other guy who is, I'm sure, he's got to be Corvus, because nothing else makes sense.
I don't
Right,
know.
because where does Bellatrix come from?
She comes from.
Because Lita's dies in this movie.
She actually comes from the House of Black and the House of Lestrange. Sirius Black is related
Right.
to her. It's her cousin. I remember that.
Yeah,
Sirius
I
is her
remember that
cousin.
from the movies.
He's my favorite character.
Wait, hold the
there
fucking
has
phone.
to still be a Lestrange alive.
I forgot that she dies. She dies in
Yeah,
this
Lita
movie.
dies.
For no reason.
Oh my goodness.
She's just like, go, I got
Oh,
this.
duh,
And then
duh,
she
duh, duh.
dies.
You guys, that's her married name. She's a Black. Her name is Bellatrix Black. She married a Lestrange.
Got it. Sirius Black. Bellatrix.
Which
Okay.
Lestrange?
Her mother is Druella Black, née Rosier.
Which
Okay.
which Lestrange did she marry?
She married Rodolphus Lestrange, who is the
Jesus.
son of.
This is madness.
Well, they're all named Rodolphus and Rabastan.
Okay.
Where the fuck did they come in?
There you go.
Good God.
This is fucking. Oh my god.
I mean, there were a lot of branches on that family
Yeah.
tree. she
I
did
just.
this.
I want to. Sorry, I have to
When
go
you're
back
when
to.
you're a pureblood,
Right.
you know,
Should be
your
a
family
straight
tree's
line.
Gonna be, yeah,
They're
exactly,
all
like
inbred,
just
yeah.
a pole.
Yeah. a fucking stick.
All right. Well, I want to go back to her death because it was.
Yeah.
I forgot about the death.
Oh yeah.
Because she just is like, go. And then she stands there, and then he disintegrates her like immediately.
Yeah, she tried to save him, but
Right, but she
he
didn't
just
do
stood there like an
anything.
idiot and
Yeah.
instead of running.
Oh, and oh my fucking god! Right, so there's that scene. All right, the fire. They're in the arena.
Yeah, they're in the
and they're all like,
mausoleum.
"Go, no, you go." And then when they go, they all just teleport out,
Yeah.
which apparently they could have done at any point.
Yeah, that's how they get around in this movie.
Right. No one had to die. She didn't have to die.
No, she did.
They all just had to leave.
Oh, she
Right?
I thought she tries to kill Grindelwald.
Is that what she was trying
Yeah,
to
she
do?
shoots
Because
a
she
couple
did a
bolts
piss
at him.
poor
Oh,
job
yeah.
at that.
Oh yeah. But I mean, she tried.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh man, you guys, there's more problems. Just reading a little bit about the family tree. Like, there's a 50-year. Lita was born over 50 years after Rodolphus served as Minister of Magic.
I figured time didn't matter at this point. I was really hoping when they go to Hogwarts.
Her husband.
Yeah.
Wait, Lita was born
50 years after.
Jesus Christ.
after Rodolphus.
Yeah, Bellatrix was born 1951. And Bellatrix.
This is Rowling is. I think she's gone Lucas on us. I think it's a.
Yeah, because
very
she's
Lucas.
supposed
This is not
I
Matt.
think what's
So-
happening is that Lucas for a while just stopped caring and he was just throwing out shit. And the fans all did this like legwork for him of like,
Yeah.
okay, but this doesn't make sense. So let's and like there I feel like we're gonna get like Harry Potter EU where they're
it's already there.
explaining the plot holes for her. That's already there?
yeah. Oh yeah.
This is getting out of hand.
Yeah, as Zoe Kravitz says, I play Helena Bonham Carter's great aunt. But that is
Okay.
impossible.
Unless there's another Lita.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that she's really the centerpiece of something important. It's so confusing. Like,
Well, she was a pretty big character. Like, she had more reason to join Grindelwald in this movie than Queenie did.
yeah, what
Yeah.
the
But she
hell?
doesn't.
Yeah.
She doesn't.
Also, the weird love triangle thing to me was, at first because I didn't see the first movie, so when I saw Newt acting like a sad kicked puppy, talking to her, I was like,
Right.
oh, okay, so this is his love interest. Nope. Turns out he's already got another one, Tina.
Yeah, I guess they were because they
was
show
like-
us the flashback. I guess they were just friends at
I
Hogwarts.
guess. I mean, I felt like
Yeah.
they had some kind of close relationship, and the way she was talking to him was as if she liked him more than she liked her fiance.
His brother,
Yeah.
her fiance.
Did he need to be in this movie? His brother?
No.
I don't think so.
It feels like you could cut half the characters from this
Yeah,
movie.
like I don't. Do we ever see Grimson again?
Nope.
Which one's Grimson?
He's
He
the
was the-
Auror that took Newt's job when Newt refused.
He's the bad guy.
He blew up the.
guy
Is he the
little
bad
old
guy?
lady.
Well, I mean,
because-
he's the guy
Oh.
who's
He's a
really
bad
working
guy.
for Grindelwald.
He's
Okay.
He's a bad Auror.
Yeah, I don't remember him showing up much. Who's the fucking alchemist? What was his
That's Nicholas
deal?
Flamel, the maker.
Oh, that was
the
Nicholas
Sorcerer's
Flamel.
Stone. You guys, did you see the Sorcerer's Stone in his little cabinet?
I didn't.
It was the big glowing thing that looked like a heart.
Right.
Oh, okay.
human
they
heart,
centered.
yeah.
They did center on it when he opened
I
it.
wonder.
That's true.
I'm sad
Okay,
that
so
his
that's
wife
for the
wasn't
fans,
there, 'cause she
'cause-
was totally a magic user too.
I will say he didn't feel necessary. I'm actually going to say that, and I think they're trying to set him up for more films, but Dumbledore wasn't necessary. They go to Dumbledore and they're like, hey, Dumbledore, can you help? And he's like, Nah.
Not really what he
And
does.
then that's-
he just
and that's it.
dispenses
Right.
orders
we,
and wisdom.
we do. They
Where
do.
they're establishing that they're going to fight later.
Yeah.
And I
We've
get
seen,
that.
We've seen Dumbledore let 11-year-olds fight his battles
Yeah.
for
True.
him.
That's true.
So-
At least in this one, he had a good excuse. There's he and Grindelwald, who I think the subtext is that they were lovers.
They're
I wish that
absolutely
they wouldn't
lovers,
be so
right?
fucking coy about it. You
is
know?
that? But that's
That is-
correct,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because J.K. Rowling made a comment way years ago saying, I always felt like Dumbledore was gay.
Right.
Okay?
Right. It also
And
just
the internet freaked out, and
Right, but
so
just-
they're dancing
Yeah.
around it instead of being like, hey.
I mean,
were
it's
lovers.
pretty. I
It's
mean,
okay.
with
the part where he looks in the mirror and they're doing the blood thing together. I was just like, oh, they're
pretty-
fucking.
Well,
These
yeah,
two are
because
fucking.
That's the mirror of Erised.
Yeah.
That's the mirror of desire.
Right,
What he
so-
wants most in the world is Grindelwald.
Is to keep, yeah.
and and he says when they come to him, he's like, you guys were like brothers, and he says we were closer than brothers.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like the implication is there. But anyways,
just wish they wouldn't keep implying.
Yeah,
I wish
just
they would
say
just
it.
do it. You
Like,
can't
we can
be,
handle
you
it.
can't
Yeah.
be coy about this
Just
anymore.
say
it's-
we
you're
touch.
not- you're not
we
like-
touch dicks.
you're not gonna
There's
like.
nothing wrong.
You're not gonna ruin children or anything.
Oh, that was sorry. Speaking of just Dumbledore and sex, you think he gets handies from that magic glove?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
He
all
has
the
a
time?
magic. Yeah, he has a magic glove in this that's like running
Yeah.
around, and it's just like
Yeah.
yeah,
he can
that's,
give himself a stranger anytime he wants to.
yeah, he really can.
It gets
Um,
all excited. I bet it's exciting to mess with people with that glove, knowing
Yeah.
where it's been.
oh yeah,
You have no idea. That's been in my Grindelwald. He and Grindelwald made a magical ward basically, so that neither one of them can kill
can't
the
fight
other.
each other.
So
They're not allowed to battle each
Grindelwald's
other.
grooming. He's doing the same thing. He's grooming Credence to kill Dumbledore.
They're both grooming
all right.
pawns.
Yeah.
Newt versus
here's
Clearwater.
here's the case against the Wizarding World.
It ain't me.
The whole fucking movie's a case against
Well,
the wizard.
here's a
Pretty
here's a
much.
case in our world. Me and you, Tom, for example,
Yes.
we don't make pacts that we won't kill each other because we just assume
I
that
think
won't
it's understood.
come up. Yeah, it's human decency, but it's also like, when would that matter?
Yeah. When would this
in
become
the
an issue?
Harry Potter world? They're like, we should better promise never to kill each other.
Yeah.
Even beyond that, we're
Yeah.
gonna make an unbreakable magical ward
Because-
that forbids us from doing it.
Because you're a magic Nazi and I'm not, and we know this about each other.
Yes.
And that's going to probably come up later. It's really fucking weird.
Also, real selfish on Dumbledore's part. It's like, okay, so
Well, of
your
course, he
love,
was a
your
kid.
your romance. He was an adult. I saw. We were watching. He was a grown up.
In the mirror, yeah.
Yeah.
They were
when
like,
when they made the pact, I assumed they were still at like Hogwarts together.
they looked,
were
they
adults.
looked
They were
young,
men.
but they looked
They were
like,
young, but they
yeah.
were men.
I thought they were like young,
No.
older teens.
I don't know.
They were men, and they made that pact, and it was ridiculous because it put their personal feelings. I mean, Grindelwald, fine, but
Yeah.
Dumbledore's personal feelings ahead of saving the world from magic Nazis. That kind of thing.
But yeah, if he knew, did he know it would come up?
why
did he?
else would he
know.
make the vow?
Exactly. He's like, nah,
I mean, he's
I'll get a
pretty-
bunch of child soldiers. I really want to get
is
some
what
child
he does.
soldiers. Oh yeah, that's his
Oh, yeah,
jam.
that's what the fuck he does.
Yeah.
It's called Dumbledore's Army.
Yeah.
I mean, they self-styled themselves that, but it's still Dumbledore's Army.
No, he's fucking it's the Khmer Rouge
Yeah, he's
of
beast,
the magic
beast
world.
of no nation.
Yeah.
So funny. He doesn't tell them to do these things, but they do it anyway because they've been
And they've been
I'm
indoctrinated.
I'm sure that's what he would say when he's on trial. Like, I didn't tell them to do these
Yeah.
things.
Look, I just said some things.
Yeah, that made
and they
them
took
want to
that
do
information the way they decided to take it.
this. All right, we didn't. Oh fuck.
Yeah. Also, another thing that puts the vow out of commission, unless she's just veering away from book canon completely, is, as I said before, Dumbledore left Hogwarts at 17, so
Oh, okay.
he wouldn't have made that vow unless he were a man, a big boy man.
Big boy man. Yeah.
There would be no
A
opportunity.
big boy man.
A big boy man.
A big boy man.
A little big man.
This fucking movie.
I mean,
It was a mess. It
Like,
was
I
a
don't-
mess.
is there anything
Also-
we need to dissect some more? I'm trying to.
No,
I'm trying to think. I wanted to take notes because it was fucking madness.
It was almost a commentary on Brexit. Almost. Like a
well,
couple of times.
yeah. I
but,
mean, that's always been there.
Yeah.
Every
man.
piece of British fiction for the past 70 years has been secretly about Nazis. I don't know. I get my big question, and I guess it's, the books got more serious as
Oh God.
they went
downright
on,
grim.
and as her audience got older. who is this movie for?
Oh, yes, thank you. That was a big question I wanted to ask at the top of this.
Like the thing about Harry Potter, it's there's no kids in this movie.
Yes, well, there is, and they get murdered.
Two infants get murdered.
This is the big question I was thinking, because if this is for adult fans, that is depressing.
Yes.
Because it's childish. About 20% of the movie. It murders children about 10% of the movie. Or I'm going to say about 20% of the movie is like
equally.
Grotesque murder in general. And then the rest of it's kind of boring.
It was boring. I was so bored.
It's a boring movie.
There's a lot of just people talking.
I couldn't sit still. My foot was tapping the whole time.
I noticed.
And then there's like some action here and there.
I don't usually
But
do that.
that
either.
was a big question on my mind, because it was like, if this is for adult Harry Potter fans, they would want action. Like, they don't want a thriller, like a dramatic thriller Harry Potter, do they?
I don't know, maybe.
They might,
The first movie
actually.
was very heavy on the action and the kids stuff.
But the last,
And I get that.
Yeah, I get that. I don't
Who
get
the
this.
fuck is this for?
There's like these moments of silly, like, look at these fun animals, and then
I feel like
Well,
It's
murder
called
and everything.
Fantastic Beasts, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
at least have some Fantastic Beasts in it, which they
and
do.
the Fantastic
shoehorn
Beasts
the
were
shit
not
out of
the
it.
center of the plot.
No.
I don't know why. And this book, this book is just a bestiary.
yeah,
That's what
it spun. No, the first movie spun out of control this way too. Is like, you could tell they needed an in. They needed something fans knew, and they were like, okay, Fantastic Beasts. What?
I'm sorry. Just Albus Dumbledore wrote on the back of this book. I forgot.
Uh-huh.
Proceeds from the sale of this book will go to improving and saving the lives of children around the world.
I bet.
Yeah. Jesus fucking Christ. All right, but like the first movie, it's like getting your foot in the door. They're like, you know, Fantastic Beasts. Look at this trailer, and even that movie, they were like, look, he's playing with this thing in the park, and it's crazy, and this guy has dark magic, and now Johnny Depp's there. And I was just like, whoa. And it was very clear from the start that they're trying to start another Voldemort, the Fate of the Earth franchise.
It doesn't have to be the fate of the goddamn earth
Right.
for us to care. We
But
can care about
I
tiny
guarant-
little stories. We can.
If they keep making these, which we'll
gonna,
see,
yeah.
this will probably make $1 billion.
Who knows?
But if they keep making these, I guarantee we're gonna be like, oh yeah, here comes Fantastic Beasts 5, which will like be a war and have no animals in it and have nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
The Fantastic
book.
Beasts will be like the
It's
demons
gonna,
within.
Well,
it's gonna be like gritty, and like they're gonna be like,
But that's also what happened in the Harry Potter
It
books.
is.
Like
That's
it's
exactly
like
what
book
happened.
6 and 7. It's like year 7. He doesn't even go to school in those two.
Yeah.
He
books.
doesn't.
Fucking Hogwarts.
But-
no magic classes.
but
What is
like,
this?
but that was okay. As someone who'd never read the books or anything, it was like, this is fine because it's just called Harry Potter.
The
It's
books
just,
are great.
I'm sure they
I
are.
really didn't like the movies at all.
I enjoyed the movies because that's all right. That was going to be my final recommendation, by the way, for this movie. Is I think if you're a fan of Harry Potter, maybe don't see this.
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing to say.
If you like the books,
Yeah.
don't bother. If you like the movies, you might like this.
Or if you just don't care.
Yeah, if you don't care,
I like-
you're really high.
Yeah, I like the movies, but here's the thing: even if you just don't care, I found this kind of boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dull.
I was
Yeah.
so bored.
Very dull.
But overall, like,
There's
I'm
It's
almost
fascinating at
tired
times.
and sluggish and everything, but this movie had me just.
yeah, you were
twisting my
antsy
seat.
to leave. Yeah.
Yeah.
it really took the life out of me. Here's one more point that I wanted to make.
Sure. Yeah.
Grindelwald's big point about why he must be allowed to throw out the stuffy old rules of the wizarding world and take control is that World War II is going to happen.
It's still
Right.
going to happen.
He told the.
So Grindelwald is telling us, and we see it. He shows them images of it. He's like, I'm going to stop the Holocaust.
Holy shit.
Right.
Holy shit.
That's in this movie.
Wow.
And that's the villain's
That's
plan.
the villain saying that.
Oh, man.
It's like,
I
I'm going to stop the
completely-
Holocaust. And I mean, Grindelwald obviously
completely
dies,
fucking
right?
forgot.
So it's like,
Okay, a few things.
Yeah. Oh, God. So wizards caused the Holocaust?
Yeah.
Is that where
Yes.
we're going with this?
A few fucking things. Because I think we talked about this in Cracked articles, which was that idea of like, where were they during that?
Yeah.
What were they doing? And
I
now
guess
we're
they-
getting that answer, and it's not going to be a pleasant
Not gonna be a
answer.
good one. I guess the trade-off is that, well, Grindelwald would have killed everyone
Yeah.
I guess.
instead of the hundreds of
That's not what
millions
he
of
said,
people
though.
that
That's
died
not
in
at all
World War
what he
II.
said. He was going to use them as beasts of burden. The fantastic beasts were going to be
Right.
muggles.
No, this is going to end with them being like, well,
But I
there's
want to
still
tell
a.
him automation's going to make beasts of burden completely obsolete.
It's
Also,
gonna-
you have magic.
yeah. Why do
Yeah.
you need beasts of
Why do
burden?
you need beasts of burden? You
make
can
things
wave your wand and
fly.
make a sandwich
You
make
follow
itself.
frickin'
Right.
feathers
Sorry,
to go
Dave.
find things.
No, this is
Sorry.
it's gonna end with like them like, well, we killed a lot of Jews died, and the nuke went off, but we didn't kill everybody because all lives matter. And then credits,
shit.
and it's just gonna be this really weird message.
Yeah.
This movie is.
That's actually a very good way of describing how I felt about the movie. It was just like, huh.
No, sorry, I have to think about the Holocaust thing now more.
Do it.
Because that's fucking insane.
Yeah.
This was like the Magneto thing where the Magneto they made it compelling.
Yeah.
That he's a Holocaust survivor
He's a
and
fascinating
he's like
character.
yeah. This is like, oh man, 3 X-Men references made by me during this for some reason.
Yep.
This really made me think of X-Men apparently.
Well, we probably would rather have been watching
Well, Zoe
X-Men.
Kravitz.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
What?
Zoe Kravitz.
Zoe Kravitz is in
she
First
was
Class.
in First Class. She
Who
played
is she in?
Lita.
No, in First Class who was
Fuck,
she?
her name was she
Angel.
was like yeah. Angel.
Oh, she's the
Thank
bug.
you.
She's
Yeah.
a bug lady.
She vomits
Acid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's dead by the second
She's
movie.
dead and dissected in
Yeah.
the second movie.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh fuck! This is. I don't know what I would need to say about this. Just that's insane what you pointed out.
Yeah.
That he's.
Yeah.
I forgot that he vapes the future, which it brings up all sorts of questions.
It
like,
does. Why doesn't anyone else vape the future?
Yeah, and that seems very useful.
Right, because he's not lying.
No.
Yes.
Like, this is all shit that's
This
going to
is-
happen. The movie takes place in 27.
Never-
This is going to happen
Yeah.
in like 16 years.
Why make your villain have a good point?
Well-
Like where he's like, look at these
That I
fucking
don't know.
concentration camps.
Well, like-
we need to step in, and it's like, yeah, you probably should.
But see, that would have worked if we'd had a strong hero to match that. But we only have a potentially, maybe slightly compelling villain here who has a
Right.
good point. But that which would have worked because I like villains that are both, they're in shades of gray.
Right.
But they need a strong hero
Yeah.
to balance them out.
I'm gonna say this didn't really have a
It
protagonist.
didn't.
Nobody came in.
didn't.
There wasn't anybody who came in, like you were saying, Marina, and really was like, no, Grindelwald is wrong, and
Yeah.
here is why
Right.
he's wrong. Nobody comes out and elucidates why he's wrong.
Yeah.
No one has like a strong arc either. Like he
Yes.
just sort of bumbles through
Yeah.
the whole movie,
Exactly.
and you don't really get a read on like what does he want in life? Is he gonna accomplish?
Just
Animals.
wants to play with his animals.
Yeah.
Write his book.
But I mean, like there's no protagonist
It's so
in this movie.
boring. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
that's
just feel sad.
Jesus fucking
Like,
Christ.
I'm sad for
movie.
Bunty because she's never gonna get what she wants. She's gonna live in that suitcase forever.
Yeah.
there's no word in the canon on who Newt Scamander marries.
No, because Newt Scamander is not really he's just. They made those books for fun, I think, just and money. But Newt Scamander is only mentioned
money.
when you're buying books at Diagon Alley. Care of Magical Creatures. That was the book requirement for that class. Jesus God.
No, that's good. I'm glad you're here.
What if he ends up being Hitler?
If Star was here,
Newt
this would
Scamander
be a
himself.
very, very nerdy podcast. Well,
We
it's already
tried to
nerdy.
get Star here, but
Oh,
she wasn't
man.
available.
What if it just ends up he's like Hitler, and like we're just very confused about who to root for by the end because he's like Wizard Hitler, and he's like trying to cause like.
I don't like this path you're going down.
No, yeah. Let's
I mean,
just drop it.
I'm like
I'm gonna cut you off.
I'm like trying to find this path as I go, and I feel like it's not leading me anywhere.
no,
That's the entire movie.
only into
We
darkness.
try to follow the path, but we feel like it's not leading anywhere, and it doesn't.
I'm very fascinated about the time that they set this in now.
Yeah.
Knowing what they did,
Yeah.
like what's gonna happen.
Yep.
It's just like what are you up to, movie?
Weird thing to do.
Yeah, weird fucking thing
Weird
to do.
thing to
I
do.
will say
What's your game?
that guy who played Jacob when he's like, we're gonna have another war, the horror in his voice was perfect.
Yeah.
I will
No,
say
he's good.
that.
That's
I liked that guy.
That's Dan Fogler. He's good.
He's great. Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah.
we haven't
he was
mentioned We haven't mentioned much that Johnny Depp's in this.
Yeah, but they tried to bowie him up to make him more appealing, but it didn't work.
I don't know what they tried. They definitely tried to make him evil, but like we don't have that problem as much anymore with Johnny Depp.
Yeah, it works because
it's easy.
Johnny Depp is charismatic.
He is.
He did.
But he's getting really one note.
Yeah, if
he doesn't lean on that too much in this movie. To his credit, he looks weird, but he's not being flamboyant. He's being.
If I didn't know he was such a terrible person, I would say he did a good job.
Yeah.
It's just distracting having him in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made the joke.
That's why I think they made him look as little like himself as they could. Like, and
He
they
looked
also
like,
made him look like someone we love, which is Bowie.
He looked
Maybe.
like Astronaut's Wife. He reminded me of his role in Astronaut's Wife.
Yeah, he does have the Richard Spencer haircut.
Yeah.
But he walks in. I made the joke when he walked in on Queenie, and she's like, whips out her wand immediately. He's like, I know what you are. And I was just like, she doesn't even know who Grindelwald is. She's just reacting to Johnny Depp entering the room.
Right.
That is great. I would have liked her to share that information with us because I don't know what he is, and she's
That was
totally fine with
established in the
afterward, right?
first one
Well,
more.
Grindelwald's like
Yeah.
a famous criminal.
Yeah.
I
But the
assume.
what you are.
The
part, I know
biggest
who
disappointment of the
you
first
are.
movie was that.
You're
Yeah,
a murderer,
what-
I guess.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing
Okay.
you might say to, like you mentioned Charles
this-
Manson earlier. You'd be like,
yeah.
I know what you are.
Sorry, in this universe, you can't tell.
Yeah.
Oh, right. You
Cannot
don't know if
tell.
she's saying you're secretly a scorpion, and I
Yeah.
know. Like,
Exactly.
He's like, clicking his claws.
What a twist that would be.
Yeah, if he was a scorpion with that haircut. I think we talked about this movie for.
I think
Yeah.
so too.
Any closing thoughts from anyone?
No.
You both went like, ugh.
If you're an X-Men, not X-Men, the fourth X-Men. If you're an X-Men fan, go watch X-Men.
Yeah, go
Some
watch
more.
X-Men.
If
through
you're
so many
a Harry
X-Men.
Potter fan, I know you're going to feel compelled to see this. If you're a Harry Potter fan who saw the first one and you're already exhausted, like you just don't need to see this.
Yeah, just don't. It's not worth your time. There's
Yeah.
nothing that a summary will not give you.
If you loved the first one,
Stay away from this one.
I don't know actually. I guess see this, but my biggest issue was just figuring out what was happening in the world of the movie.
Yeah.
Not without like out of context from the first one. Like it, I don't know. This movie's bizarre to me.
I found it confusing and boring.
Yeah.
I've admitted that I didn't see the first one, and I'm only a cursory Harry
I
Potter
saw the
fan,
first one
so
and I
take
found it
that
confusing
for-
and
yeah.
boring.
And I didn't see the first one. I'm a huge mega fan. I hated it with every fiber
Not
of
a great
my
sign.
being.
Not a great sign.
No. Jesus.
All right. Well, got anything to plug, Marina? Thank you for being on the show.
Yes.
What do you want to talk about?
To those of you who don't hate me now for disparaging this movie.
I don't think we have that many diehard Fantastic Beasts fans.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, please come and watch Horizon Zero Dawn. It's a stream that I host on Twitch at darthmarina.tv, Twitch TV, and I play Horizon Zero Dawn, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 o'clock PST. Please be there. It's a lot of fun. We have a great time.
Nice. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
You can find me on Twitter at Darth Marina.
Sweet.
Cool. And then we got our Patreon, Gamefully Unemployed. Please go there and check it out and maybe contribute if you can to support us. We appreciate you listening.
Yeah, if you're gonna see Fantastic Beasts, take that money and give it to us.
To us instead.
We'll give you something with Beasts. We'll write something about getting a handy from a glove.
Yeah. Fantastic Beasts and how to get a hand job from them.
Nice.
We'll send
There's
you
your
that.
movie.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, we'll send you that.